So guys, when you're doing this interference part of the homework, all right, where they're asking you to sketch the resultant before interference, during interference. So during the interference, you can find pretty much what they should look like on the link that I had already posted. All right, so using the principle of superposition, you can wind up adding these guys together. If I'm on the same side, you add them. Opposite sides, you subtract them. So how to draw these on the homework. During this, you're going to answer whether or not it's constructive or destructive. Constructive, they're on the same side. Destructive, they're on opposite sides. But to draw in, to sketch our resultant, okay, you're going to click on this guy, you hit edit. Right, you can take this and you can make it a little bit bigger if you want. Oh, that's a little too big. Okay. Now what you're going to do is go over here to this little line guy. Hit select line. You're going to hit curve. All right, I'm going to start it right about here. I'm going to click once. Boom. And now I can kind of like drag this little line around. Okay. Approximately right here where the crests meet. 1 plus 1 is a 2. So I'm going to go right up here to about 2 and click here. And now if I move this back down to this point where they would kind of come down back to it, this is where I want to end. So I'm going to double click. And then I'm going to get off that because if you like click again, it's going to make lines and we don't want that. See, I don't want that. So I'm going to hit undo. But this dude, I'm going to go to the select arrow. Cool. Change the color, make it red. And then let's, oh shit. I didn't want to do that. No. There we go. I want to make, what is it? The line, there you go. Line color, red. And make it just like a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And then boom, that would be what our, all right, interference would look like. So you're going to do that for these guys here. And again, they're on, what they should look like is in this green picture. So you guys should be able to do that no problemo. But as far as these guys are concerned, all right, again, if you click over it and you can go to edit, it's going to take you into the Google Drawing, and we can do some damn things in here. I'm going to just stretch this out just a tiny bit bigger. So you're going to do this for every line. It's not as bad as it seems, okay? You're basically just doing simple little addition. Go to the same thing. Select line, curve. Start it there. Okay, first line is like 1.5 plus 3, right? So the top line is 3. The bottom line is about 1.5. So from the 3, I'm going to add the 1.5 to it. So here's a whole 1. There's about a half. So I'm going to make a first click. Now if I move it around, you can see how it's going to curve. Okay, so the next one is the top wave is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the bottom wave is 1, 2. So I'm going to add the 2 to the 4. So I'm going to go up 1, 2. Make a click here. All right, and then again, this is like 1.5. This is 3, so go 1.5 here. Click, and the next line over is they're both at 0. Cool. So I'm going to just click on that guy. And then it's going to, I mean, these look like they're about the same, so it's kind of a repeat the process. Sort of-ish. Let's see. At this line, the bottom dude, the top guy is at a 3. Right here it's at about, I don't know, 1.5, a little less than 1.5, so I'm going to add like a little less than 1.5 here. Boom. This guy is a 4, a -4. This guy's a -2, so we're going to be down here at this -6 position, coming back. Okay, so this dude is a 1, 2, 3, and the bottom one is a 1, almost 1.5, so about 1.2-ish, 1.5, somewhere right about there. Click. And again, you can, if this thing moves around, bet. Next line, 0. Click. All right, 1.5 and 3, so the same thing. 2 and 4, add another 2 to this piece up here. What about right there? To 0. 1.3, so add a 1 and a little bit extra there. This guy's a 2. Okay, boom. Like 1.5 and 3, 1 right about there. 2 and 4, add the 2 up top. Right about here, and then back down to 0. And then now that I want to end it, I'm going to double click. Cool. Go over to the little select button so you don't make any more lines accidentally. We're going to make the line color red, and we're going to make it 3 whatever thick. Boom. Look beautiful. Looks great. Hell yeah. Now for the second one. Well, we're going to definitely want to make this a little bit bigger so it's easier for us to see. So at each line, you're going to do the same kind of thing. You're going to hit the curve. You're going to start there. At the first line, I'm at, this top guy's at a 1.5, and this dude, the top or the first wave is a 1.5. The second one is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to add 1.5 to 4, which would be so 1, and here's about a half. Make it click. The next line. Okay, so this one, this wave right here is at a positive 2. And this guy right there, when it crosses this line, it looks like it's just about at a negative 1. So a positive 2 plus a negative 1 would be this guy right here, a positive 1. Skirt. At this line, I'm looking at a positive 1.5 and a negative 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to subtract 1.5 from the 4 down here. So 1.5. So I'd be right about there. Click. At this point, they're both at 0. Awesome. So go to here, go to the 0 line, click. This looks like it's at a 1, 2, 3, positive 4, and this guy looks like it's at a negative 1.5. So positive 4 plus a negative 1.5, we subtract 1.5 from it. Click. Here, they're both at 0. Okay, and you're going to repeat that. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you guys, but that would be, all right, how you would go through and complete that. And then you would save and close after you make the line, red, and make it 0.3 times. And then what they're going to ask is, at these different letters, tell whether or not it's constructive or destructive. So at point A, if you can't zoom, if you're not sure, you can try and zoom in. So A is right here. Well, you can see that it's definitely constructive. Point C. Well, what's going on at point C? No, that's constructive, even though it's underneath. All right, you can see that they've added on top of each other. Point B. Constructive. F. If I go up to F. Well, yeah, they're right there. They're pretty much canceled out. So we're looking at destructive over there. You kind of do the same thing over here. So at point G, they're both on the same side. So we're saying it's constructive. Letter H, one is underneath, one is on top. So at that point, it's a little bit destructive. Remember, destructive doesn't mean they have to fully flatten out and cancel each other. It's just like one's on one end of the resting position, one's on the other side. Okay.